In the Gospel of today, we will hear the only prayer which Jesus taught his disciples. In the Gospel of Luke chapter 11, the context is that the disciples come to Jesus with a request to teach them to pray as John taught his disciples. It is in that context that Jesus teaches them the Lord's Prayer. In the Gospel of Matthew, the prayer is within the context of the Sermon on the Mount and Jesus' teaching on prayer in general. The Our Father, or the Lord's Prayer, is a prayer that is primarily a petitionary prayer. It acknowledges that we are totally and completely dependent on God. It begins not with our concerns, but with the concerns of God. It speaks about God's kingdom and God's will and acknowledges that we are dependent on God not only for something as extraordinary, as stupendous as the kingdom, but also for something as mundane and ordinary as bread. Jesus was aware that bread was bought from the baker, and it was the baker who provided the bread. However, Jesus also knew that the baker was only the secondary cause. The primary cause of bread was his Father and our Father, and that is why he begins addressing God as Father. The Our Father in the Gospel of Matthew is primarily a prayer of petition, a prayer of dependence, a prayer of acknowledging that without God we are nothing, and with God we can do everything. How will you acknowledge your dependence on God today?